Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Oh, absolutely. Always ready to explore some fascinating travel tales.
Well, today we're taking a virtual trip to the Dominican Republic, specifically Punta Cana, to soak up some sun and adventure, all thanks to a family's awesome blog post about their birthday and New Year's trip. Talk about a fantastic way to start the year.
Birthday, New Year's, A&D Punta Cana. Sounds like a recipe for an unforgettable celebration.
Exactly. And from what I've skimmed, they didn't just relax by the pool. They really dove into the whole Punta Cana experience. Tranquil paddle boarding at Playa Blanca 1 minute,
Picture that. Crystal clear waters, gentle breeze.
and then the next they're on a super vibrant motoramaran ride over to Cana Island. Plus, there's even a buggy tour through some pretty muddy trails. And to top it all off,
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here. What's the grand finale?
Spanish rock bands A&D freshly made ice cream rolls for their New Year's Eve celebration. Now, that's a combo I wouldn't have imagined.
Yeah. That's quite a mix. It's fascinating how they blended those contrasting experiences together. It might give us some inspiration for our own travel plans, no matter what our travel style is.
I completely agree. All right, so their blog post breaks it all down day by day, and it kicks off with finding that perfect balance right from the start.
So how did they choose to begin their Dominican adventure?
Well, they started with day one at Playa Blanca. It seems like they wanted to ease into that vacation mode.
Playa Blanca. I've heard that's one of the most beautiful beaches in Punta Cana. That makes sense.
Exactly. It's all about soaking up those classic Punta Cana vibes. They went water biking, paddle boarding, just enjoying the scenery. But then they decided to switch things up a bit and head over to the Punta Cana Village Plaza. What do you think was the draw there?
Well, I know Punta Cana Village Plaza is known for its local crafts, shops, and restaurants. Maybe they were looking for a little taste of Dominican culture.
You hit the nail on the head. They were particularly fascinated by the hand-rolled cigars and beautiful Larimar jewelry. Plus, they mentioned all the beautifully carved wooden crafts.
So they got to support local artisans, A&D, find some unique souvenirs. Sounds like a win-win.
Totally. And they ended the day with dinner right there at the plaza. They even gave a shout-out to their hotel, the Four Points Sheraton. Apparently, the staff's hospitality really stood out to them.
Always a good sign. A warm welcome can make all the difference in a travel experience. But I'm curious, what happens on day two? Do they keep that relaxed vibe going?
Not quite. Day two is a complete 180. They head over to the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Punta Cana. Talk about a burst of energy.
The Hard Rock. That's quite a change of pace. I can already imagine the music, the crowds, the vibrant atmosphere.
It's like they flipped a switch. Suddenly, it's all about water parks, wave pools, and even trying their luck at the casino, though they mentioned it was more for fun than serious gambling.
Yeah, the Hard Rock is known for being high energy and entertainment focused. It's almost like its own world within the larger Punta Cana experience. So, did they enjoy that shift in energy?
Oh, they definitely embraced it. And you know what else they highly recommend?
Let me guess. Trying out one of their famous rock-themed cocktails.
Close. Is their pina colada. They describe it as creamy, refreshing, and basically everything you'd want in a tropical cocktail. I'm starting to think a pina colada taste test should be on our travel bucket list.
Haha, I wouldn't say no to that.
Yeah.
But okay, enough about cocktails for now. What adventure awaits them on day three?
Well, day three takes them on a totally different kind of journey this time. It's just Salona Island. But they really emphasize that it's not just about the destination. The journey itself is part of the fun.
Saona Island. Now that's a place I've been dreaming of visiting. What makes the journey so special?
Well, they took a motoramaran, which is basically this cool combo of a speedboat and a catamaran. You get the thrill of zipping across the water, but also the space to just relax and enjoy the views.
So you get the best of both worlds, the excitement of a speedboat ride with the comfort of a catamaran. Sounds perfect.
And of course, no Caribbean boat trip would be complete without music and dancing. I can just imagine them cruising over that turquoise water, Caribbean sun beating down, music pumping, pure bliss.
I can practically feel the warm breeze and hear the music. It's like a postcard come to life. But the fun doesn't stop once they reach Saona Island, right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They were greeted with a feast. Think grilled chicken, fresh fish, and all those classic Caribbean side dishes like rice, beans, and tostones. It sounds simple, but so flavorful.
Sometimes the simplest dishes are the most satisfying, especially when you're in a beautiful setting like Saona Island. It's all about those fresh ingredients and that relaxed island vibe.
Couldn't agree more. But Salona Island has even more to offer than just incredible food. Before heading back, They made sure to stop at a spot that sounds absolutely magical. It's called Starfish Lagoon.
Starfish Lagoon? The name alone evokes a sense of wonder. What's so special about it?
Well, they describe it as this shallow lagoon with crystal clear water, and it's just teeming with starfish. Apparently, it's a truly awe-inspiring experience.
Wow, that sounds incredible. It's moments like that, those unexpected encounters with nature, that can make a trip truly unforgettable.
Exactly. It just goes to show that sometimes the best moments aren't the planned activities, but those spontaneous discoveries. Okay, ready for day 4. They decided to switch gears yet again.
Let me guess. Back to relaxation mode. Maybe a spa day or some luxurious lounging by the pool.
You're getting warmer. Day 4 is all about luxury at the Loptadon Costa Bavaro Resort. And get this, they snagged a private pool villa.
A private pool villa. Now that's how you upgrade a vacation. I can already imagine them spending the day soaking up the sun in their own little oasis.
That's exactly what they did. They spent the day exploring the resort's massive pools, enjoying their prime beachfront location, and just completely unwinding. They even caught a show at the resort's entertainment area before heading back to their private haven.
It sounds like they really mastered the art of balancing those high-energy activities with moments of pure relaxation. It's impressive how they managed to cater to everyone's preferences throughout the trip.
I agree. But wait, day 5 throws another curveball their way. Get ready for another dose of adventure.
Another adventure. Okay, I'm intrigued. What did they have in store this time?
Hold on tight, because they packed in a buggy ride,
Aha.
a plantation tour, A&D, a swim in the Blue Lagoon, all in one day.
Wow, that's ambitious. It sounds like they wanted to experience as much of the Dominican Republic's diverse landscape and culture as possible.
You got it. And they weren't afraid to get a little dirty along the way. First up, they hopped into those buggies and took off on a super muddy adventure. They were laughing, and getting splashed with mud sounds like a blast.
There's something so liberating about letting loose and getting a little messy on vacation, isn't there? It's like shedding those everyday worries and embracing the thrill of the moment.
Totally. But the adventure didn't stop there. Next, they visited a local plantation to learn all about the Dominican Republic's agricultural side. They even got to sample fresh cocoa beans right from the source.
That's awesome. It's one thing to enjoy a cup of coffee or a chocolate bar, but it's a whole other level to actually see where those ingredients come from and learn about the process behind them.
It really adds a whole new dimension to those everyday indulgences. And to top it all off, they ended their adventure-filled day with a dip in the Blue Lagoon. They describe it as this hidden oasis surrounded by lush greenery, the perfect spot to cool off and recharge after all that excitement.
Sounds like an idyllic way to end a day packed with exploration. It's fascinating how they kept finding those perfect moments of tranquility amidst all the adventure.
It's all about balance, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of grand finales, their New Year's Eve celebration was nothing short of spectacular. They really pulled out all the stops for ringing in the new year.
Okay, now I'm really picturing something extravagant. Are we talking a lavish gala, fireworks, champagne flowing freely? Give me all the details.
You're on the right track. Their New Year's Eve celebration at the Lopson Resort was seriously impressive. Imagine a huge gala dinner with an endless buffet of international cuisines and local specialties.
Oh, wow. It sounds like a foodie's paradise. But I have a feeling you're about to tell me about something even more memorable than the food itself.
You know me too well. What truly stole the show were the freshly made ice cream rolls. They described them as absolutely divine.
Freshly made ice cream rolls. Now that's a unique and delightful touch. It's those special details, those unexpected moments of culinary delight that can really elevate an experience.
Exactly. But the fun didn't stop there. The resort went all out with a lively party, complete with live music. And guess what kind of music?
Considering their earlier adventures, I'm going to guess something high energy. Maybe a local merengue band.
Nope. Spanish rock bands. Apparently, they were amazing and kept the party going strong.
Spanish rock bands. Wow, I love that they incorporated local music into the celebration. It's such a great way to immerse yourself in the culture and create a truly unique New Year's Eve experience. And of course, no New Year's celebration would be complete without a dazzling fireworks display.
You're telling me they described it as absolutely unforgettable. But as all good things must come to an end, their final day in paradise was all about soaking up those last precious moments.
Oh, the bittersweet feeling of a vacation coming to a close. So how do they choose to spend their last day in Punta Cana?
They kept it simple and sweet. They spent the day indulging in those classic beach activities, swimming, soaking up the sun, and sipping on those tropical drinks. It sounds like the perfect way to unwind after such an action-packed trip.
It's almost like they came full circle, ending their adventure where it began, embracing that tranquil beach vibe that initially drew them to Punta Cana, a perfect way to recharge before heading back to reality.
Exactly. And there's one last detail I have to mention. Before leaving, they had one final taste test they just had to try.
Oh.
Did they finally declare winner in the Pina Colada showdown? Which one reigned supreme?
Believe it or not, they left it as a still undecided battle between the Lopesan and the Hard Rock. Apparently, some things are just too good to choose between.
Huh, that's fantastic. It's a reminder that sometimes the most enjoyable experiences are those that leave us wanting more. Those friendly debates and lingering questions just add to the fun of it all.
Well, we've covered quite a bit of ground just in this first part of our deep dive into their Dominican Republic adventure. What are your initial thoughts on this jam-packed itinerary?
Honestly, I'm impressed by how effortlessly they blended those contrasting experiences. They didn't just visit Punta Cana, they really lived it, embracing both the relaxation and the adventure that this destination has to offer. And that's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive. We'll delve deeper into their overall experience, analyze why Punta Cana might just be the perfect family destination, and explore what we can all learn from their approach to travel. But for now, let's take a quick break. Sounds like a plan. We'll be back soon to unpack even more insights and inspiration from this family's Dominican Republic journey. Stay tuned. Okay, so we're back and ready to dig a little deeper into some of the bigger themes and insights from this family's Dominican Republic adventure. We've seen their itinerary, the highs, the lows, those amazing sounding pina coladas. But what's the bigger picture here?
Yeah, one thing that really jumped out at me was how smoothly they mixed relaxation with adventure. It wasn't all just beaches or excursions. It was this really well-balanced combination. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. It's impressive how they pull that off.
Mhm.
I mean, think about it. You have those super chill moments at Playa Blanca, plus their private pool villa at the Lopesan, but then they're out there bouncing around in buggies and hitting the lively scene at the Hard Rock. It's almost like they created the perfect trip for, like, 5 different people.
Uh-huh. That's a great way to put it. And it's a really useful takeaway for anyone planning a trip, especially a big group trip. It's about figuring out what everyone wants and finding ways to make it all work.
Yeah, it's that classic travel question, right? Are you the go, go, go type, or do you prefer to just chill and soak it all in? This family figured out how to do both. Which way do you usually lean when you travel?
Honestly, I like a bit of both. I love exploring new places and trying new things, but I also really need those times where I can just unwind and take in the atmosphere. Finding that balance is key.
Totally agree. And speaking of finding balance, something else that struck me was how much they talked about the warmth and hospitality they experienced throughout their trip. They especially called out the staff at the Four Points Sheraton for being so welcoming.
It's amazing how these little interactions can make such a huge difference in how you feel about a place. Just a simple smile or friendly greeting can make you feel so much more connected. Have you ever had a trip where the kindness of strangers really made it special?
Oh, for sure. Completely lost. I was feeling super overwhelmed and frustrated, just trying to make sense of my map. And this local saw me struggling and not only gave me directions, but walked with me for like blocks to make sure I found my way. It totally turned my whole day around.
That's so great. It's those random acts of kindness, those unexpected moments of connection that can take a good trip and make it fantastic. And it sounds like this family really felt that warmth throughout their whole time in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, it's like they carried those good vibes with them from one place to the next. But let's switch gears a bit and talk about Punta Cana itself. Why do you think it's such a popular destination, especially for families?
Looking at their itinerary, it's easy to see why. I mean, this family managed to pack in so much variety. They had their beach days, their cultural experiences, those adventurous excursions, and even some luxury with that private villa. Punta Cana seems like a place that really does offer something for everyone, no matter how old you are or what you're into.
And that variety is so crucial when you're traveling with a group, especially families with kids of different ages. You don't want anyone feeling like they're being dragged along on stuff they don't enjoy. Punta Cana seems to strike that balance between having enough to keep everyone entertained while also having space for chilling out and spending quality time together.
For sure. And we can't forget about how beautiful it is there. Those incredible beaches, the clear turquoise water. It's like a visual feast. It's no wonder families keep coming back to Punta Cana. It's like stepping into a postcard.
Absolutely. It's a destination that really seems to work for all kinds of travelers. But remember that whole undecided pina colada thing we talked about earlier, it made me think.
Ah, yes, the ongoing battle between the hard rock and the Lopeson versions. What about it?
It's such a small detail, but it says so much about how travel experiences are so personal. What might be a highlight for one person could be totally forgettable for someone else. It all depends on your tastes and what you notice, right?
That's such a good point. It reminds us that there's no one size fits all when it comes to travel. What might be the perfect itinerary for one person could be totally different for another. It's all about figuring out what you personally value and prioritizing the experiences that are going to make your trip really meaningful to you.
Yeah, and those little details like finding a really amazing cocktail can often become the memories you cherish the most. It's those unexpected moments of delight that stick with you.
Absolutely. So, to everyone listening, as we continue exploring this family's experience, take a moment to think about your own travel style. What are the things you prioritize when you're choosing a destination? What are the little things that make a trip really special for you?
Keeping those personal preferences in mind is the key to creating a travel experience that's both fulfilling and unforgettable. And that's something we'll dive into even further in the last part of our deep dive. All right, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into this family's Dominican Republic adventure.
It's been so much fun exploring their trip with them.
I agree. We've talked about their detailed itinerary, those big themes of adventure and relaxation, and the warm hospitality they encountered. We even pondered, like, the meaning of travel through a pina colada showdown.
Haha, right. It's amazing how a simple cocktail can spark such a great conversation. But yeah, we've covered a lot of ground, from those beautiful beaches to muddy buggy rides. Now it's time to distill it all down. What are your big takeaways?
What really stands out to me is how this family created such a well-rounded experience. They didn't limit themselves to just one side of Punta Cana.
Exactly. They embraced it all. They found that perfect balance between exciting activities and pure relaxation. And I'm sure those memories will last a lifetime.
They showed us that a vacation doesn't have to be just one thing. It's about finding the mix that makes you feel energized and refreshed.
Absolutely. And they highlighted something really important: the power of human connection. Those moments of warmth and hospitality can really elevate a trip.
Like you were saying earlier, whether it's a friendly hotel staff member or a local going out of their way to help, those interactions make a big difference.
Totally. It reminds us that travel is so much more than just checking places off a list. It's about connecting with people, experiencing new cultures, and creating moments that stay with you.
Couldn't agree more. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a question. Imagine you're planning your own Punta Cana trip, inspired by this family. What one unique thing would you add to make it unforgettable?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's so many possibilities. Maybe I'd take a cooking class to learn about Dominican cuisine, or find a hidden cenote for a swim in those crystal clear waters. What about you?
That's a good one. I've always been fascinated by the Dominican Republic's history, so maybe I'd find a local guide to take me on a historical tour. Like, imagine exploring the first city of America, Santo Domingo, walking those cobblestone streets and just, like, soaking up all that history.
Wow, that sounds amazing. It's a great reminder that every destination has these layers of stories waiting to be discovered.
Exactly. Well, as we wrap up today's episode, I encourage everyone listening to embrace the unexpected, find those unique experiences that speak to you, and most importantly, have fun on your next adventure.
And don't forget to savor those little moments of joy along the way. Those are the memories that really stay with you. Until next time, everyone, keep diving deep and keep exploring the world.